Good afternoon, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Let's do a twin flame reading. All right, so masculines on the left, feminines on the right, and union energies down the center. I always start with the masculines. Masculines, what are we confronting? What do we need to know about We just had a flipper. It flipped back. I'm not going to take it. I've also been coughing and trying to clear my throat this whole, for 10 minutes before I hit record. There's a truth that wants to come out. Okay, a truth about home, a truth about boundaries. These feel like two separate messages. Hold on a second. Let's see. All right, so we have boundaries in reverse and we have home. And then we also have this, excuse me, I don't mean to be clearing my throat right into the microphone. And then we have spirit guide. I'm not going to speak too much into it. Let's get the whole spread first. And for feminine energies, spirit for feminines, what are the feminines confronting right now? What would support them on their path? I cannot clear my throat. Masculines, this is yours. What truth have you been swallowing? It's time to, it's regarding your home space, your domestic situationship, your anything. I just said I wasn't going to go into the message until I got the whole spread, but it's coming through. Masculines, you're being called to be authentic in your truth and your desires around your home life, around what it is and what it isn't and what you want it to be. Okay, feminines. Excuse me. So feminines, you have all reversals here. We have truth, travel, and peace. Whew, okay, feminines, geez. I'm just going to leave that there. This travel card feels very much an internal distance the feminines must travel to arrive at their truth and to... Okay, I'm getting the message. It's much clearer now. Geez, masculines, you got to clear this throat. It's really stopping the reading. Spirit, where do you want me to go first? Okay, so for feminines, really quick. Feminines, you are being called to allow yourself to approach your truth with ease, flow, and grace, and allow yourself to come into nervous system regulation and peace regarding what your truth actually is. I am so sorry about my throat. This has been a theme, and I've seen some other readings, and I intentionally said to myself, see what comes out today, because I wanted to see if it was an alignment. Something that's flowing through the grand feminine collective is this acceptance and allowance. So much of the feminine journey has been internal, and in the early days of pain, grief, heartbreak, it's very easy to vilify people, places, and things around us and within us, right? So if you had a heartbreak, it's really easy to blame the other person. And then after you're done kicking and screaming and blaming external sources, then, your vitriol turns inward and starts to blame self, right? Why did I choose this person? Why didn't I know better? Blah, 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 fill in the blank. This is so unkind to self. So feminines, no, this is an okay thing. Feminines, you are right at this precipice where you are confronting your authentic truth without being attached to what you think it means or what you think it means to other people, right? You're no longer allowing the external world to shame you or to blame you, or there's less ego intervention here. And why is this such a pivotal moment for you, feminines? Because when you can allow your truth without worrying about what anyone else thinks except yourself, that's when the world of matter starts to come into resonance with the world of spirit, with your true energetic desires. Okay, anything for union energy, spirit, union energies. Whew. So feminines, the other thing that's coming through here is this is a path of freedom. Like, isn't it interesting the way the cards look? I'm looking on the camera. Yes. Okay. Doesn't it almost look like it's a staircase with just the design of the cards and the way I have them laid out? Feminines, this is like the red carpet being laid out for you. I know, sometimes when we think of reversals, when dealing with cards, we think of like a negative thing or, oh, there's work to do. This isn't work, feminines. This is allowance. This is the portal is open. You just get to walk through it. What does that portal look like? That portal looks like peace. Peacefully walking through the portal of your truth, peacefully allowing yourself to have these desires despite what all of the stories and despite your history with this person, place, or thing. You are in this delicious calling. Like, it's the visual I just got is one of these, like a woman in a beautiful long Victorian gown running down the corridor of a castle, unobstructed and free and playfully. There's so much beauty in this moment where you get to reclaim your truth and reclaim it in a way where you're not vilifying self or other. Beautiful. Okay. Anything for union energies? Anything for union energies? What is that? Finding. Okay. All right. Well, let's take, I'm not going to take these. Anything else? I mean, sometimes I crack up because these cards are so freaking literal. It literally says finding forgiveness. Whoops. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I don't use this deck very often, but I just crack up when it starts to like create a sentence literally with the cards. I mean, it literally says finding willpower for forgiveness. I'm just going to leave it there. At some point, it doesn't matter what debris is in the road. It doesn't matter whether it's ours or theirs or someone else's. The fact of the matter is, if you're driving down the road and there's debris or obstacles or blockages in the road, it doesn't matter whose work it is. It doesn't matter where it came from. It doesn't matter who it belongs to. In that moment, when you are driving down the road, it is your problem. It is your responsibility. You are the one who driving down the road who is being held accountable to clear that energy. So, again, this is in the union energies. I'm so excited right now because I've never felt this. Yeah, let me just feel if that's true. Yeah, I've never felt this teamwork energy. Yes, those of you who've been with me, like, you've really seen how the mirroring starts to unfurl on this twin flame path, but I've never seen such teamwork in the union energy. And it's bringing me to tears because we've come a long way, feminines and masculines. We've come a very long way, peeling back the layers, taking accountability, intellectually taking accountability, psychologically taking accountability. There's been so much mental, physical, emotional, spiritual work being done and excavated on both sides of the street. And this delicious union energy message is that both parties are finding the willpower to finally let go of the pain, finally release any and all blaming self or other in these circumstances, and really allowing true, real forgiveness to take root. Yeah, and what's being pushed into the unconscious is healing, but it's in the reverse, so it's a false shadow. So for me, the healing is not going to look like what we think it's going to look like. We're going to stumble upon it one day. Just think of, have you ever experienced a synchronicity? If you're listening to readings like mine, I'm assuming you have. Either you see your favorite numbers on the radio, or you're thinking about a red cardinal and then a red cardinal crosses your path. I'm sure for the population that's watching right now, I'm sure you've experienced that moment of synchronicity. Now, when you go about your day, do you wake up in the morning and say, oh, today I'm going to find a synchronicity? No. Your synchronicity finds you, right? You stumble upon it. And that's why it's so delicious and fun and exciting when you see, you were thinking about a black feather and then you see a black feather on the sidewalk, or a blue umbrella, or, a red clam, or a red crab, or whatever. It's like we don't go setting out to find a synchronicity. The universe we allow the mystery to show up in our lives, and the universe communicates with us. Feminines, masculines, this is the same thing with forgiveness and healing. We don't know what the healing is going to look like. It's not really our jobs to understand this or plan for it or whatever. This is something that will be illuminated when you can truly wield your free will in a way that uses your sovereign choice to surrender this forgiveness to the quantum field, to God, to the universe. And here's the thing too. Think of all the flavors of forgiveness, right? You can forgive them, and let's just be honest here. I'm anchoring this in terms of a relationship because that's the energy that's coming through. You can forgive someone and still be pissed. You can forgive someone and never want to see them ever again. But this is not that. This is a forgiveness that surrenders every little blockage or doubt or fear or grief or sorrow that you've ever had. This is forgiveness and surrendering and melting into oneness, that understanding that everything that has happened up until this point in time has had to happen. Everything was divinely placed on your path so you can confront these pieces of self, right? The world around us reflects back to us as we are, and we use the world around us, people, places, and things to learn more about ourselves. This is true, deep, soul-centered forgiveness. My voice just went out. Interesting. Really reclaiming truth in all senses of the word. The visual I'm getting is a dodecahedron, and it's a forgiveness dodecahedron, and every side of this dodecahedron has like another angle of forgiveness, right? There's like, I forgive this person and I'm no longer angry. Then there's, I forgive this person and I actually can access the love I've had for them, the good times, the positive attributes. Then towards the end of this wild, massive journey of forgiveness, then there's the ultimate forgiveness around, I forgive them and I love them for choosing to do this dance with me. The good, the bad, the painful, the ugly. I love them. I have so much gratitude that this human chose, my soul best friend chose to incarnate here with me to act out this grand play full of all of these wild circumstances so that I could learn more about myself, so that I get to reclaim these lost, abandoned, and rejected parts of self, to rediscover my soul's true passion, my authentic way of moving through this planet rooted in truth and desire and resonance. That is a whole nother flavor of forgiveness. Feminines and masculines, congratulate yourselves for being at this space in time. This is massive, massive parallel, and the visual they're showing me is like little kids, like a feminine energy coming in and a masculine energy coming in, and they hold hands and they're like skipping down the path. There's this really kind of like shoulder to shoulder teamwork energy. And I'm just so moved by it because we've all been doing so much internal individual work. And this is like the loudest I've ever heard this energy on this path of teamwork. The recognition that actually this person has never left you. You have never left this person because you are within one another. It's impossible to be out of union. It is impossible to be in separation because they are you, you are them. There is no other. This is pure oneness. Beautiful. All right, Spirit, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Okay. All right. Any questions for masculines? Any questions for masculines? We have leap. You go first and the universe will catch you. You know, I didn't really do the masculine side, did I? I'm just noticing that now. Well, we did it a little bit. Masculines were, just to remind you, masculines were being called to allow themselves to confront their authentic desires around home life. And what are masculines? What are the realistic desires that you have? No, I'm sorry. Shoot for the moon. What are your overarching supreme desires for your home life? And then what I was going to say is, what are your realistic boundaries that you can put into place now that would support your vision, support your dream, support your long-term legacy for yourself, your loved ones, and your partnership? Okay, now we have you go first, the universe will catch you. So this is a very counterintuitive idea to the human animal nervous system, right? As an animal body, because we are animals with a fight or flight, sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, operating system, we want to assess danger, find safety, and we're always assessing, are we safe? Are we safe? Are we safe? What do I need to do to control my environment so I can be safe, right? So this is counterintuitive to operating with a etheric or quantum nervous system. A quantum nervous system says there is no other, thus there is nothing to fear. I am one with everything, every possibility, every infinite possibility that could happen, every infinite thing, creature, organism that exists on the planet, I am one with. We are all part of one energetic family. So there is no fear in that reality. There is no fear when there is no other. It's all you. It's all versions of you being reflected back to you. It's all versions of you acting out their particular energetic form on the planet. So masculines, you're being called to, oh, I get it now. I was wondering why the spirit guide card was here. It just felt like out of the story. You're being called when you don't have a quantum answer, when you don't have a divine, when you're not hearing a divine message, like a divine calling, or your intuition and discernment is not kicking in, turn to spirit. You have an entire spirit team, spirit crew on your side that's ready, open, waiting, wanting, willing to support you. You are never doing this alone, but lean on your quantum crew. Lean on this soul family that is here to support whatever you truly desire. Now, make sure your desires are not out of fear. It was kind of a Freudian slip that I said realistic desires. That was incorrect. I'm taking that back, and I hope I can really anchor this. When it comes to desires, the only limitation that there are on your desires is your own belief, right? So when you start to align with quantum possibility, when you start to align with your quantum help, your angelic etheric help, support, you start to operate in a way that is outside of the realm of matter, meaning the realm of matter starts bending to your will opposed to the other way around. So again, you go first and the quantum field supports you. The universe will deliver once you take that leap towards It's like, I always give the example of, manifesting or place is like ordering dinner. You have to place your order with the, server, waiter, waitress in order for the kitchen to know what the heck you want. If you never claim that meal, if you never tune inward, be like, okay, what do I feel like tonight? What do I want to eat tonight? What do I want to drink? If you don't ever ask yourself those questions and then take the next free will step of communicating those desires, the universe will have no clue what you want. And furthermore, if you're stuck in fear and grief and separation and pain, you're placing that order with the universe. We have to recognize that as energetic beings, we are beacons of light. We are frequency towers, always emitting a frequency 24/7. So picture it like this. You are constantly in full communion and communication with the universe. So you're always placing an order. Now, your level of consciousness, with how conscious are you of the orders that you're placing with the universe? If you're in a depressive state or in a denser energy state, it's very normal and common for us not to be conscious that we're actually putting that energy out there. I also have profound infinite compassion for how dense those energies can be and how far they could suck us down, right? If we're in a depressive, anxious filled state or fear driven state, we can't even remember that we have power, right? We feel powerless in those moments. So masculines, but that's not where you are, masculines. You are at this place where you get to place an order with the universe, but you have to remember that you're worthy enough to do so first. Whew, okay. Anything for feminines? What are we working with? What do feminines need to know? What are they asking themselves? What are they confronting? Okay, we have inner temple devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. This is completely in alignment with the feminine trajectory. Feminine trajectory of healing has been, how can I love myself enough to take up enough space to go at my own pace so that I can access my intuition and my wise discernment? That also looks like building self-esteem, building health, building wellness. What does that look like? Building a life around you, feminines, that you can feel at ease with. We also have just say yes. Can you see this? Yeah. We have just say yes. We have your guidance is divinely guided. And we also have align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Yeah. Feminines, beautiful. Feminines are very much in a chop wood, carry water energy. Feminines are very much in a wake up, tune inward, assess needs, and then parent those parts of self to be able to give ourselves those things, whatever that is. What is not aligned or needs to change? Feminines, you are in a place of accountability and discernment. Accountability and discernment. I'm just going to say it again. Accountability and discernment. You are accountable for the way you feel in your interior world. Do you feel good today? Do you feel bad today? Do you feel stressed today? Do you feel gross today? Do you feel flexible today? Do you feel strong today, or do you not? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you do next. How are you caring for self? How are you parenting these parts of self that are screaming for help? Right? In former stages of our development, we might have abandoned those voices, those parts of self that really needed support. No more. You are too conscious for that, feminines. You didn't come this far to only come this far. This is a very pivotal, beautiful, powerful time, feminines, for you. This is a time, again, accountability and discernment. Okay, really quick. I wasn't going to look at the bottom, but I did. We also have this Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher energy in the unconscious. So here's the thing. If we're not feeling good about ourselves, we're not going to believe in ourselves. We're not going to believe in the power of our mystic connection. We're not going to believe in the power of our intuition. Listen, I am an oracle, but you are as well. We're all oracles. What does that actually mean? I mean, some people okay, no, I'm not going to go down that tangent. The spirit literally just stopped me. It's a matter of how deep are you going into this relationship with self? How intimate are you becoming? How finely tuned is your instrument so that you can assess the subtle changes in your mind, body, spirit? Those subtle changes are micro bits of data that carry information. That information is used by your intuition to discern the next steps in life, to discern alignment and resonance, feminines. Okay. And in union energies, what are we working on in the union? We have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Yeah, this is more teamwork energy. Like, here's the thing. Teamwork makes the dream work. We have never, it's been an illusion if you think you've been doing this work alone. No, you have been doing this work in tandem with your energetic DNA twin. Whoever has your DNA blueprint, the same DNA blueprint, you have been doing this work in tandem. You couldn't do it without each other. You lovingly chose to incarnate here. You exited the ovoid, the little egg of creation, and you chose to work out this piece of karma together. You could not have done it without each other. Again, allow this to fuel that profound gratitude. You couldn't have done it alone. Thank God they're there. The good, the bad, the painful, the ugly. Like, thank God they're there. Anything else? Okay, hold on. Cards are going everywhere. Okay, what do we got? We have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Do you see how many portals are showing up in these readings? Here's another one. The crumbling. What are you clinging to? Okay, again, so as we remember, teamwork makes the dream work. As we take another step away from what is crumbling in your life, this is another discernment card. You make Sorry, hold on, being interrupted. Okay, sorry about that. The crumbling, what are you clinging to? As we walk away from what needs to crumble, we make space for a firm foundation, right? Like, it's like trying to build a house on a bed of rubble, right? A bed of rubble is not as sturdy as like a poured cement pad, right? You want to build your home on a firm foundation. And if you continue to cling, reminding you, this is union energy. So this is feminine and masculines. The longer you cling to the old, the longer it will take for the new to birth itself. And then what is this last card? We have Starseed, what lights you up. It's really important to understand, even when you think you're in your deepest, darkest night of the soul, it's really important to understand what lights you up, because that is your lighthouse. That is the beacon of light that will keep you going. I've been in really dark places in my life where the only thing I felt like I had to live for was my mission and purpose. And thank God, because then from that little seed, that little, ember of light, all of these other things have sparked. Thank God. And yes, of course, I have a wonderful family and I have all these, I have wonderful friends, but it's like when you're alone with self in the interior of your heart and mind, what lights you up? What keeps you going? Anything else for union? Anything else for union? No. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. And we got a second card of boundaries, but it's in the union energies. I think masculines got this the other day. Hold on, card on the floor, and we have unbound, releasing contracts, past lives, and pillar of light. These all came out the other day, so I'm not going to take those. But yeah, where do you need to establish better boundaries? Now, mind you, those that know me in my personal life know that I talk about boundaries 24/7. Honestly, I think little kids in kindergarten should be taught boundaries, because then we would raise a generation who knew how to say yes and no, and actually how to say yes and no authentically and mean it, right? So where do you need to establish better boundaries? With self and other. With self and other. One more time, with self and other. This is huge. This is so important. If you don't know how to say no, then your yeses mean nothing. If you don't know how to say no, then your yeses mean nothing. All your yeses should be an embodied hell authentic yes, a hell yes. If they're not a hell yes, they're a no. And most importantly, if it's a maybe, it's a no for now. It's a no for now and wait for more information. It's a no for now and maybe negotiate until you can get to your hell yes. I didn't say compromise, I said negotiate. It's a very different thing. So if it's a maybe, it's a no for now. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. What else do we have? Where else should we go? Yeah, I'm going to get some of these delightful fairy cards. Anything else for union? Anything else for these delicious twin flames who are working so diligently on their path? What would support them? What would support them in setting better boundaries? We have dolphin spirit. Don't worry, be happy. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let's get them all out. We also, interesting, we have dolphin and we have dragon. We have a sea creature and we have an air creature who breathes fire. Discover your courage. Anything else? Anything else, spirit? What does this say? Battle of Blues. Take steps towards positive change. Yeah, this is like a willpower energy. If you are down in the dumps and holding deep intensity or density right now, what is the smallest step you can take for yourself? If you are so depressed that you're stuck in bed, can you get up and at least grab a piece of fruit and then eat something healthy in bed? If you haven't showered, can you get up? Can you will yourself to get up and go take one shower, or even just wash your face? If you can't, how can you break the step down to the most micro version of itself? I'm trying to think of another one. Yeah, it's like for people who can't leave their apartment. Okay, if you can't leave your apartment and you feel like you're getting worse and worse, can you at least open the window and allow the sun to hit your face or the fresh air in? It's not about judging yourself for what you can and cannot do. It's how can you take a loving next step. It doesn't matter the size of the next step. It matters that you take the next step. If you haven't been able to shower for days, can you just brush your teeth? If you haven't been able to, fold all the laundry, can you, just clear off your bed? It's like, what is the most micro step you could take for yourself that is rooted in love and not judging self? Can you let go of the shame and the criticism and the judgment over what you are or are not doing, and just allow yourself to receive that kindness from yourself and just survive, right? If you are in this level of density, which is really interesting, I mean, it makes sense. Do you see this woman or this creature here? She's like, they're being consumed by this kind of like watery, swampy energy. And there's this sword in their arms, and there's like sea creatures. It's almost like they're becoming the swamp. And I totally honor how dense that could be. You know what it's reminding me actually of? Have you guys seen, it's like one of my favorites, The Never Ending Story, when he's in the what is it, the swamp of nothingness or something, or the whatever. And it's just, oh my God, it's such an intense scene. I'm not even going to talk about it. Anyway, moving on. Anything else for these wonderful, wonderful creatures? We have a second card of going with the flow and letting things happen. As much as you've heard me talk about different action in this reading, if I'm taking a zoomed out view of this, actually it's all been internal action, right? Maybe there was some external action regarding self-care and loving self with the feminines, but really it's about internal discernment and flow. So this is a time in this beautiful teamwork that we're witnessing to allow things to unfurl. Like you, feminines and masculines, you've gotten yourself this far. So surrender to this divine placement. Surrender to this divine trust in the work you've done thus far. Anything else? Yes, we have new beginnings. Beautiful. Begin your new life. I love that we just had the full moon. We're, approaching the end of the year, and this feels like a time of rest. I said it to my friend, like the last couple of weeks of December, if you're still working like a job, especially like an office job, when you could start feeling the energy slow down and people kind of start vacation mode before vacation actually starts. It's that kind of feeling right now. It's like, this isn't a time of more doing. This isn't time of starting a new project or getting a new client. This is a time of just like honoring the year that you have survived, the year that you have navigated, the storms, the chaos, the joy, the pleasure, the pain, whatever it is. It's time of just taking stock of the year behind you and honoring self. Honor what you did, honor what you didn't do, honor the divine choices you made or didn't make. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else you want to share? What's interesting? My throat cleared up. I didn't know if you noticed that, but I stopped coughing. Okay, no more on this deck. I'm just going to keep going until... let's get this fun deck. This deck is awesome. It's called Visions in the Liminal Space. This is this funky deck some of you have seen me use. I haven't used it that much lately. Anything else? Anything else you want us to... how do you want us to wrap this up, Spirit? How would you like to... We have the Hell Train in reverse. And then we have... you came here to help turn off the lights in reverse. Yeah, so some of you... If you have been finding that this life has been hell for you recently, it's because you forgot your quantum job here. You forgot your quantum assessment. You came here to help turn off the lights, meaning like when you, oh my goodness, that's such a cool message. I just got full body chills. You came here to help turn off the lights. What happens when you turn off the lights and you're in pitch darkness? All of a sudden your sensory system kicks into hyperdrive, and it's like your eyes kind of dilate and they try to see better in the dark, and your hearing gets a little better, and your senses start to engage in a way that maybe they haven't done before. Feminines and masculines, you are the one that turns off the light for your community. It's like turn off the external noise around a body of people, around your friends, around your family, around yourself, and tune into a greater cosmic reality. Tune into the truth that we started as a quantum we started as a spiritual body, right? And we're a spiritual entity having a human experience, not the other way around. We have no vacancy, and then we have, I actually don't know what this means, and I don't have the, it's a Latin, let me just look at the image here. There's a lot of travel synchronicity. It says esse quam videri. I don't know what that means. I know it's Latin, but I don't know what that means. But there is a lot of travel. Isn't it interesting too, as we come upon Christmas and the story of Christ's birth, no vacancy at the inn, right? They gave birth to, in a very humble means. They gave birth in a manger around animals. So there's something here. And then we have another travel, this train card. Hold on, Spirit, say more, please. Okay, hiding in plain sight, cord cutting in reverse, and believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see. Okay, really? Okay, we're getting repeating messages here. So again, it's learning how to tone down the world around you so that you could dial up your intuitive perceptual system. Believe nothing that you hear. So words are cheap, right? Don't believe the words and only half of what you see. Don't believe your vision. Don't believe what you're perceiving, because your perceptions are rooted in your own egoic limiting beliefs, right? So they're not always 100% accurate. We can't fully trust them. However, you can believe what you feel and what you intuit. So bring your whole body, mind, spirit, perceptual system to the world around you. Beautiful. Let's end on some Buddha wisdom. Let's see where we go. Spirit, what would you like to share before we go? What would you like to share? Okay. We have compassion does not see the faults of others. It does not see the weakness of people. It has no ego. You know, feminines and masculines, in this time of rest, as you prepare for this new beginning, and mind you, when I say prepare, I mean rest. I don't mean take action. I mean rest. You can start to imbue your new life, your next cycle of the year, the upcoming year, in a way that is rooted in pure love. What would your life look like if you can show up without ego or with limited ego, without worrying what other people will think of you, what you look like, without micromanaging every little thing you're going to say, without controlling your environment around you? What would it look like to live a life in total union with the world around you, with the quantum field? Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? What a lovely reading. Can you feel the ease in the system arrive? I just felt it. Okay, let's see. Cultivate perfection of wisdom. No fire, poison, sword, and water can harm you. As you perceive birth as coming and death as going, you are bound by mental obstacles, right? Break free from these binaries that society has created for us, right? Break free from these associations that, birth is the winning the lottery and death is, the end of all things. Break those habits, because if you stay in those attachments to and associations, if you live from those very binary perspectives, you are limiting your infinite self. You are limiting your access to quantum mentality, quantum reality. Time to let it go. Lovely, lovely reading. I hope this was supportive. It was delicious on my end. I will see you in the next one.